How's it going, everybody? I'm Brian for Pop Culture Crossing, and today we are talking about Inside. Released in 2016 and developed by Playdead, Inside is a side-scrolling puzzle platformer. The game's expert portrayal of dystopic Huxleyan themes tie beautifully into its level design, visuals, and gameplay. It offers a very impressive experience that will leave an impact on its players. Narratively, the game relies solely on environmental storytelling. Those looking for a text-heavy game or one that includes a lot of exposition will not find it here. The only thing players know is that the character is a boy on the run. We do not know from whom immediately, but as the game progresses, it becomes clear that security or state enforcers are in pursuit and are attempting to instate their interpretation of a controlled society. The reason the boy is running, much like the story itself, is open to interpretation. As such, the nature of the story is steeped in the esoteric. I recommend getting all the achievements or trophies so you can experience a quote-unquote secret ending. I favored the original ending, however, as it created a nice climax and really left me pondering its meaning. It accomplished all this while maintaining its enigmatic nature. Conversely, I found the alternate conclusion to be rather predictable and pretty anticlimactic. Regardless, both endings should be experienced. The pacing is good. From the onset, you are on the run, and the tension and mystery only grow from there. The environments themselves are varied, featuring a forest, cornfield, farm, city, and building complex, and you can really kind of see the progression of the story as you move from the forest farther into civilization and into the city. And the settings in the second and third act, however, take place primarily indoors. While there is some diversity with this, there are some parts that look and feel repetitive. Nevertheless, the level design itself is masterfully done, and its impressive thought and logic can be seen as players explore the given settings. Puzzles are intelligently designed and marry the pacing with the gameplay. More often than not, they entail some degree of backtracking. This can become cumbersome, but their excellent construction and payoff really create a nice balance to the minor tedium. Once players get a feel for the puzzles, they really know more or less what to expect going forward, and this speaks to the capable use of foreshadowing both narratively and in terms of the puzzles and gameplay. The level and puzzle designs are two of the many highlights of the game and will keep players intrigued until the end. Inside's tone is another standout feature. The game's mysterious, dystopic, sci-fi, and Huxleyan leitmotifs are terrifically blended with the story and visuals, and it really creates a nice overall package in terms of presentation. I recognize distinct similarities to Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. As mentioned above, the gameplay is styled in the vein of a side-scrolling puzzler with platforming elements. The smooth, graceful, and impressive ways in which the character controls and is animated are juxtaposed by his terrifying and mysterious journey. All of this is entertaining for the player. The controls are simple overall, but there were a few parts near the end where I was unaware of all of my abilities. It would have been useful to have known about them, but I could see how doing so could have risked breaking the fluidity and immersion. After all, Inside is a game, and an element of fun should be included to prevent characters from growing frustrated or leaving the game altogether. I'm not saying that people are going to be tempted to do so, but it's just nice to know all that you have to work with when you're playing the game. Inside is one of the most visually impactful games I have played in a long time. It is clear that its art direction and style are not photorealistic, but that thankfully is not a requisite for creating memorable standout visuals. The muted color palette effectively reflects the story's tone. Shadow and light are utilized to great effect and are brilliantly offset by soft, subtle color accents, the most striking of which is the character's red shirt. Overall, the lighting and shadow really create a noir feel, and I really appreciated that. Playdead's attention to detail is another noticeable addition. The burst of bubbles that appear as the character gasps for air while swimming are powerfully employed. The water and rain effects are sophisticatedly done and look terrific as well. The sound design is also worth mentioning. Inside's audio is outstanding. Whether it is the barks and snarls of dogs, the sound of a body falling and hitting the ground, or the haunting echo of the character's shoes in an open warehouse, the sound design and engineering absorbs players into the game's setting. Similarly, the stirring musical cues reinforce the suspense and tension that permeate the game. In the end, Inside is a very enjoyable game. The interconnection and brilliant execution of the story, pace, tone, gameplay, and visuals are exceptional. The arcane story and presentation will not be for some, but I encourage you to experience what Inside has to offer. Few games can boast such masterful game design, and Inside is a game that will not soon be forgotten. So that's my review of Inside. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below and across our social media channels. As always, there's a full detailed written review at popculturecrossing.com. And if you're an audio listener, you can catch us on iTunes or Google Play for Android users. And if you could give us a positive review there, that would really help. Even if you primarily read or watch the videos, if you could also help us out on the other mediums, that would be appreciated. In the meantime, why don't you let me know what your favorite 2D platformer is? I look forward to hear your picks there, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.